Previously on the SouthernAirs.
So for the next 3 days, I'm going to be doing a British Airways mile run across two of my favourite cities in the UK. This is the Ulster Hall in Belfast. Still at filthy nasty. He's been here about half hour. Chin chin. And Matt, the BanjoMan, Barista, reviewed my f***ing meal.
Hello and welcome back to part 2 of this birthday trip around the UK. So, let's pick up where we left off last time, shall we?
So I've just done a domestic connection here at Terminal 5. I need to go find the first of my lounges. And look. Yeah, back where it started. 24 hours ago. Gate A6.
Domestic connections at London Heathrow meant that I didn't have to pass any security or passport checks, which was amazing and made it very seamless. I was dropped off at near gate A6 by Wetherspoons, and without further ado I decided to make a very prompt run over to the North Galleries Lounge, the first of 2 Terminal 5 lounges that I tried out on this trip. As you can see, there's a BA 777 taxiing around.
So here we are, sat in the T5 lounge. This is the South Galleries Lounge. Can't see behind me, but I've got some Airbuses out there because the way the lighting is. Gonna have something to eat in a little while, but I'm just gonna have a bit of orange juice and some water first. My flight's not till 4:40. Morning won't start at least till 4 o'clock. So I've got a couple of hours in each lounge. I will go for a shower in one of the lounges. Apparently in the south, no, this is the south one, so the north one apparently has shower facilities, which is looking forward to that because I could do with a freshen up. Right, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the experience. Pretty good experience in the North Galleries Lounge. Absolutely enjoyed it. Even got to see the Retrojet, which was hovering around. My flight will be going from the A gate in the domestic area later. I have been confirmed onto the 320 Neo, unless there's any changes. I'm going to head over to the South Galleries Lounge for a bit, because that one is also open, and I can also access that with my business class ticket, so I'm very looking forward to doing that one again. I will also leave a link in the description, but that is also the lounge that featured in my July 2021 video up to Edinburgh in business class, so let's go check it out.
The South Galleries Lounge is the larger of the 2 business class lounges at Terminal 5A for British Airways. You can't access these through credit cards or benefits. You have to be either high up with One World status or flying business or first class. The South Galleries Lounge also is connected to the Concorde Room and the first class lounge. They're all in one big facility together. As you can see, I had a nice afternoon tea with a Scottish whisky. It was very delicious.
I'm in the South Galleries Lounge. This one is a bit nicer, seems to be a bit quieter, a bit more space, and got my hand on one of these. I'm not putting High Life magazines out in BA at the moment because of what's been going on, but it looks like in the lounge you can still grab a copy, so this will do for some light reading material. Nudge nudge, wink wink, say no more. And hopefully it will save power on my phone battery. Okay, slight change of plan. I am going to be having a shower. I didn't realise, I found out I could reserve it through the BA QR code, which they're offering in all the lounges and all the seats. Didn't realise that the showers were down by the Concorde Room, but not an issue. This shower looks pretty swanky. I'm looking forward to trying it out. So, I will see you after I've freshened up. Okay, so my time in the lounge is now officially over, but I enjoyed myself, yes, I sure did. So I'm at the Alpha 15 at Terminal 5 because I'm about to board the 3rd of my 4 flights. Flying on an Airbus A320 Neo. It's parked right over there. We're flying from up to Edinburgh, and then I've got an evening in Edinburgh. I've got to find my hotel, which is in Princess Street, so I should be dropped off right in front of it if I get the right bus link. Yeah, so onwards with the journey. Okay, back to the GoPro footage.
A nice little addition to this trip was the A320neo from British Airways. This is only my second time flying on a neo with the airline, and this flight was the first time I'd stepped on one since the SouthernAirs Amsterdam day trip. I flew on Tango Tango November, so the registration was fairly easy to remember. Despite the stormy weather coming in, which was affecting the flight operations, which resulted in us leaving London probably about 45 minutes later than we should have been, it did also provide some pretty good footage, as you can see right now as we took off. It was a relatively nice day, despite the weather being a bit hairy on some parts. Once we'd levelled out at our cruising altitude, the service was delivered, and an afternoon tea was provided. The coffee cake was really nice, and I chose to have a Brewdog High Fly beer. As you can see, the A320neo cabin is a little bit more on the basic side compared to the A320ceo that I flew on the earlier Belfast flight.
Tyler, why did you put your jam on second? You should always do your jam first, then the cream. That way you get more cream on your scone. Although it did look a bit dry as well, I will admit. Coffee cake is just disgusting in general because I really don't like coffee, but that's a personal taste. So if you like coffee, fair enough. I don't. Hey ho. But I will approve of the BA beer. I absolutely love that stuff. So 1.5 out of 3, I'd say.
Due to our delay, we did have a somewhat darkened arrival into Edinburgh, but it is what it is, there's nothing much I can do. I tell you what, the flight overall, it was still a pretty good experience, and it was nice to have a club experience on the 320neo to compare to my prior economy class experience. Given that this is the next generation of short-haul aircraft for British Airways, I got a feeling there might be some more of these coming up in due course.
And thus concludes the travel for my birthday. Just got to get to my hotel. I'm staying in Princes Street, so quite central, easy to find, literally. Somewhere I've stayed before. Looking forward to doing a video on it. Those were some good flights. Don't fly Club Europe very often, but when I do, I absolutely enjoy it. It's a massive treat. Right. I'm just hoping tomorrow's flight goes, because obviously there's been issues with weather and weather warnings. I'm just hoping it goes ahead. I'm flying on a small plane to Southampton. I'm kind of screwed otherwise, unless they can get me to Heathrow if there's a problem. Oh well, find out tomorrow. In the meantime, I'll catch you on the bus. And here we are, the second and final hotel. And it is none other than the Easy Hotel in Princes Street. Yeah, I stayed here back in 2019, so I thought I'd come back because back then I wasn't doing hotel reviews. And I thought this one might be worth a little review. The only major change is that I can't get the breakfast box like I did back in 2019. They have stopped it at the moment because of COVID, but you can still buy hot drinks downstairs for a fee. This is a no-frills budget-style hotel. You can probably tell if you've flown EasyJet in Europe. So, yeah, there'll be a dedicated review of this, but here's the funky bit. I opened this door, and it is a... get it to focus. It is a combined bathroom and shower cubicle. That's going to lead to some interesting quality. Alright, I will catch you later. I have one more stop for this evening, hopefully.
Tyler McDowell, your worst nightmare has arrived. As I look at this video of the Easy Hotel in Princes Street in Edinburgh, I'm greeted by the sheer horror of disgust. I really dislike this hotel quite a lot. It's very small, it's very squalid. It looks almost like a little squatting den, if you ask me. The hotel just, I wouldn't even call it a hotel, I'd say it's more like a hostel. The shower room, just the shower and the bathroom unit just remind me of a Ryanair 737-800 toilet. I mean, that is like comparing it to some real rubbish. I don't think I'd be able to fit in that if I was honest with you. The bed against the wall is just not good. I mean, I would probably have to sleep. If I was to stay in there, I'd probably have to sleep with my feet up on a pillow or something, because my feet would just hit the wall and that would hurt. But Tyler, man, you disgust me, boy. You need to start staying at some better hotels. The barista does not approve at all.
And of course, being my birthday in Princes Street, Edinburgh, there was one thing that I had to do. I had to take a short 10-minute walk into the town centre to toast my birthday.
Here we are. Would you expect any less? It's my birthday. That means Hard Rock Cafe.
A really good meal for one service at Hard Rock. I love coming to the one in Princes Street, Edinburgh. It's a great little location. I had my usual electric blues with another soft drink. I had a strawberry basil lemonade to go with it, and I chose to go with the bacon cheeseburger.
Right, it's the day after my birthday. It's the 18th of February. I'm just about to head out and have a day in Edinburgh. My flight is still scheduled as of this morning to go ahead. I have checked in online. I have a boarding pass. Obviously, a lot of flights to Southampton have been cancelled today. Mine's still due to go because it's at 8 PM tonight, but I have to wait and see on that one, play it by ear. Obviously, if there is any cancellations, I'll be heading straight back to the airport, which would curtail my time in Edinburgh, but is what it is, got to be done. In the meantime, I will catch you later. I hope you enjoy the footage of what I can get up to in terms of filming.
After a good night and a decent stay in the Easy Hotel again, which I do recommend for anyone wishing to travel to Edinburgh on a tight budget, it was time to leave and adventure around Edinburgh. I had a few places that I wanted to go see that I hadn't done in the past. As there was no breakfast on offer, I decided to make my way to the Deacon's Cafe in the city centre. As you can see, despite the weather, it was a lovely morning. It was a bit cold from the winds, but that is usual in those parts of the country, especially in the middle of February. Through the central Edinburgh Gardens, I got to have a nice look at the Scott Monument, the National Gallery, and there was also a museum on the bank which I had a look at, which will feature a little later. As you can see, everyone was out enjoying the sunshine.
Check this out. Ladies and gentlemen, the Scott Monument. I've actually been up that a couple of years ago. It may not be user friendly because you've got to do a lot of walking and the steps are quite steep and whatnot, but I'll tell you what, if you do one of the guided tours, you get up the top of that thing, oh boy, the views. And just behind me, you probably saw a clip earlier, that's the National Galleries. I'm not much of an art gallery person, so I'll probably leave that. And just over here, that's Edinburgh Castle on the hill. I'm heading into the old town over here because there's a cafe where I'm going to go for some breakfast because the Easy Hotel was not providing it during my stay this time. So follow me and find out some more. Right, you can see I'm a bit out of breath, but I've been coming up a hill and just taking a shortcut for one of these here alleys where in Edinburgh's got a load of these old buildings where there's a huge amount of stairs going up. But I tell you what, it's a lot less strenuous than having to walk around a big circle. Oh, you can tell I'm out of shape. I need to swim more often. Yeah. There's a view behind yours truly. Where the camera focuses. So I'm just heading to the Deacon's Cavern, which I'll show you in a few minutes. I'm hoping it's open, it's showing open. We tried to go there back in September on the last SouthernAirs trip here, and it was shut. Oh well, here's where it is. Right, let's get into the town centre. Rightio, so the Deacon's Cafe is open for business, so I'm in luck this time. Right, so this area, or this cafe, used to be the home of Deacon Fry, who was a deacon being a Protestant church minister. By day, respectable churchman, apprenticeship carpenter and all the rest. And by night, he doubled as a thief. In fact, when he was caught or found out, and they hanged him, ironically, on gallows that he'd helped build as an apprentice, mind you, it led to the inspiration of the Jekyll and Hyde books, who were written by a local Edinburgh author. I'll pop his name just here, because I can't remember it off my head. Right, here we are. It's a bit off the beaten path. You've got to kind of know where it is to find it, but it can easily be, if you are passing by, there is, it's hard to see, but there is a mannequin of the deacon just about here at the entrance. definitely worth a visit. I've been here a few times since 2019, so without further ado, let's go inside.
A very nice rustic place to enjoy a snack and a cup of tea or coffee. I've made about 2 or 3 visits to this location. The food is really good. It can be quite expensive, but you are getting a very decent quality, all local Scottish. As you can see, I had another scone with jam and cream along with tea, and I had a bacon roll with some local Scottish bacon, and it was absolutely divine. Could not fault it whatever. Great way to start the breakfast.
Right, so that was a good start to the Deacon's Caff. I did some research while I was there. I'm going to start off with the Museum on the Mound. I've passed this place a few times. Have I been in it? Not yet. There's till now. Check out the views from here though, just absolutely gorgeous. Right, now for my next stop.
The Museum on the Mound features a huge extensive range of Scottish financial history over the centuries that Edinburgh's been the capital of the country. Various exhibits display various criminal acts that occurred, as well as the evolution of security in the banking business, and also the history of the workplace. There's even a nice little exhibit on Scottish widows. In fact, this outfit was worn by the daughter of the actor Roger Moore, who appeared in the early adverts. That's her there, back in the 80s. I then proceeded to get on an East Lothian bus to get out to where the Royal Yacht Britannia resides as a museum ship. It's well worth a visit.
Right, now you're probably wondering what I'm doing at the far western edge of Edinburgh, soaking wet in a shopping mall. How about a cup of tea and maybe a cake on a yacht? Oh, I saw this on the map this morning when I was looking for things to do. I simply thought, Tyler, you've got to excel yourself now. Right, it's not only am I going for lunch on this Britannia Royal Dock, but I'm also doing a tour. It costs £18 for entry. You can take a handset for the guided tour. I personally just want to go at my own pace, enjoy the ship, because this looks pretty impressive. This was the last royal yacht used by the royal family. Decommissioned in 1997, the same year I was born. And yeah, let's get started. I'll fill you in as we go through. Yeah, we've had a few warnings about the weather, but it is what it is. I think you can probably just about hear the wind in the background. So, let's get started and see what this has to offer.
While the yacht's interior and design and equipment might seem somewhat dated to today's modern standard, this yacht was the height of luxury during the pinnacle of Queen Elizabeth's reign throughout the 1960s, 70s and 80s. Pretty much every royal family member has travelled on this. Well, the ones that were born prior to 1997 anyway.
Just touring the last part of the Britannia yacht before I have to head back to Princess Street. As you can see, we are in a nice little pub area. I think this was mainly for the staff. It's going to be the staffing levels all downstairs in the bottom of the ship. And there's even a little bar here that you can go behind and do yourself a few making drinks with some fancy gear over here. And look, VHS and a square box TV. Haven't seen one of those in years. Used to be all the rage when I was growing up back in the early 2000s. You youngsters don't know what you're missing. Well, it's time to get back to Princess Street. This is a roller rink behind me. Honestly, I haven't seen many roller rinks around. I thought those things probably died out in the 70s, but no, this one's still going strong in Edinburgh. So yeah, the yacht was absolutely fantastic, well worth a visit. Again, was able to gift aid my entry, even better. Done my bit for charity. Either way, I better get the bus in a few minutes. I'm just gonna try and navigate out of this shopping mall that's attached to it. You've got to go through the shopping mall to get to the Britannia. really a fan of going shopping. I don't know why some people find going shopping as a good hobby. It's just me. It's just me. I'm on the bus, just get off at the street and then find the airlink. Right, so I've checked in, got a boarding pass. I'm about to put my mask on, go in and go through security. So my plane is still scheduled. Less than 3 hours to go before the flight. Hopefully, hopefully the son of a bitch will go out without a hitch. It's only a 50-minute flight on an ERJ-190, one of the lovely Lucy's, because all the BA's ERJs are Golf-LCY, because they're all based at London City. So, wish me luck, and I'll catch up with you airside.
As luck would have it, my plane did eventually leave London City, bound for Edinburgh Airport to do the flight back to Southampton. I decided to have a cheeky lunch or dinner at Wetherspoons before catching the flight, because I had no idea whether I was going to be coming home on time or not, and sure enough it was a nice little way to end this trip. Now for the main event. Yes, open board as well. I had an ERJ 190 waiting for me to take me down to Southampton, where I was going to base for the next following weekend, doing some of the winter ski flights on behalf of BA City Flyer. The aircraft took off on time, and I used the time to just sit back and relax, knowing full well that this trip was ending and everything had gone off perfectly for the most part.
Hiding out in the gallery of the plane, but just had a little spot to film. Made it on the flight, obviously. Heading back to Southampton. I'll catch up with you once we're there.
The only snag was, because of the weather we had at the time, the crew at London City were not allowed to load catering onto the aircraft. So regardless whether you're flying Club Europe or economy class, there was only two options: packet of crisps and a glass of water. Which, to be quite honest, flying in economy, I thought that was actually not too bad a free service. And the arrival into Southampton concluded an amazing birthday trip. Despite having had a flat one the previous year because of everything going on in the world, it was nice to really come back with a bang, and it was nice to just get the wings spread across the UK, doing 3 cities in the space of 48 hours. It was absolutely worthwhile. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed filming it, and we're just going to let this video come to its natural conclusion as I leave the Embraer 190. And I hope you all have a pleasant day.